I'm at the peak of my off season. I'm 260 pounds, so I'm nice, fluffy, and pale. Kind of pale. I don't know, I got a tan for some reason. We got John Meadows here.
Who is pale.
Or maybe red.
Pale and red.
Pale and red. He's got a red shirt on, so that's definitely true. He is going to walk me through some of my posing and kind of give me some critiques and some advice so that at my bodybuilding show at the end of the year, I have a good head start. And thank you so much for your time. Hey, can you do your intro thing that you do on your channel real quick?
Sure. All right, hi everybody. John Meadows here with my brother Juji. As he said, we're going to do some posing today. He looks pretty lean to me for off season. Like, I would expect more donuts and pancakes to be in his diet, but we're gonna walk through some poses. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a front relax pose. Now, a lot of people talk in bodybuilding about shows are one from the back. They're talking about your back development, maybe your hamstrings, and that is a little bit true. But my opinion is the first impression you make, Juji, is huge. So when you walk out there and they line you up, when the guys who are going to place high, the judge's eyes will go right to them.
Okay.
And that's a direct result of how you look, but it's also how you hold yourself, how you stand, how you present yourself. So the first thing we're going to do is do a standard front relaxed pose. So go ahead and get into it.
I hate this pose.
He hates this pose.
From this pose.
Well, we have to perfect this pose. So let's start from the ground up. The first thing we want to think about is our legs. Now, what I see a lot of guys doing is they just don't flex their legs. They don't know how to flex their legs.
I'm trying.
And what is really helpful, there's two little things we do with our lower body that's going to really make his legs look nice. One thing we're going to do is we're going to sit his hips back a little. So what I mean by that is don't stand like this. Sit your hips back a little, like this. I know it looks weird, but trust me, it's going to mean something. Okay? The other thing we're going to do is I want him to rotate his knees out. Now, did you just see what happened right here with his hip flexors? Relax. Now do it again. Relax. Now do it again. Do you see these lines that are coming out? So when you can perfect this part right here, rotate the knees out and send the hips back, you bring in those hip flexors, those lines right there, and when you're on stage, that looks fantastic. It's muscle separation. Eyes will go right to that, okay? Now, you obviously have to think about your upper body too. And one of the main things I see people doing wrong here is it's really basic. They just don't stand tall. They just kind of get hunched. You know, they're doing this kind of stuff. You want to just think about, this is real simple. This right here is called your xiphoid process. Just pick it up. That's it. It just makes you look bigger and wider. So stand tall, stand big, project a big, wide shape, okay? Like that. Now, the other thing, Juji's actually doing a really nice job of this. I see a lot of guys that they stand like this, but then they let their arms do this. And their shoulders look small. It just doesn't look professional. So you want your arms to kind of hang down right where Juji's at, and then pop that chest up. Just like that. So he's doing a nice job. Now, the more you practice this, the deeper those lines are going to get. Normally, people have those lines, they just don't practice it, so they don't have the muscle control to actually show it. But you can do little things, Juji, like, you know, flex it, release. Flex it, release. Flex it, hold it for 5 seconds, release. See his hip flexors? Mm-hmm. The more he does this, the deeper those lines are going to get, and it's going to look really impressive on stage. Now, big chest, arms down, chest higher even, like that. Pull your stomach in. Nice job. The next pose, the judges are going to tell you to take a quarter turn to the right. What they mean by that's just turn sideways to the right.
Turn to the left.
You can turn that way, it's okay. As long as you remember the right way during show day. Right. Now just stand how you were at the beginning. Okay, now this is how someone would stand typically to the side. Now he's doing one thing really nice here I want to point out. A lot of guys will just stand right here, but it's not.
Really?
Yeah,
they leave this in the way?
A lot of guys will kind of do this, or they'll just stand like this. What they'll do is they'll hammer down their tricep like that.
Yeah.
Now, I personally like to show a lot of shape in this pose. You want to have pretty square shoulders. What I mean by that, Juji, is I don't want you like this.
Yeah.
I want your shoulders more like, watch this, they're square, and you're just turning. So
okay,
you're not doing this.
Oh,
yes,
yeah. Oh,
now,
okay,
so now look at the shape. Look at the shape. Look at his lat. Look at his obliques. You'll know you're doing it right when you feel a lot of pressure right through
I
here.
feel it.
It's really uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable.
Now, one more thing I want to show you on this. Again, where does it all start?
From the ground up.
From the ground up with your legs. So most people will just stand with their toes pointed forward. That's okay if you want to look average, but if you want your hamstrings to look a little thicker, we've got a little trick here. We can take this back leg, we can turn the toe out to 11 o'clock, just like this.
Yeah.
And we can take the front leg and drag it up and push your adductors, squash your adductors together, plant that foot, and now stand up and rotate. Do the exact same thing you do with your upper body. Now, you need to get more flexible to do this because your feet are pointed that way. But the advantage is, by putting your legs in that position and squashing your adductors, now you've got a thicker hamstring. It pushes the hamstring out and gives it that bowed look. Rear delts and hamstrings are two really important muscles. A lot of people don't have those muscles. When you have nice bowed hamstrings, it's an attention getter. That's why I've been such a hamstring freak my whole life. Always thinking about hamstrings. Let's get that chest up. A little bit more. There. Now a little bit of rotation right there. That's going to show more taper. You see how his lat just came out? Now, like stand here. Now look at that. Now look at this.
Yeah.
You see how much the shape and the symmetry is better now? Okay, now let's do one from the rears. You remember what I was talking about from the front where you kind of drive your knees out?
Yeah.
You can actually do this too, but you don't need to kind of sit back and pop your hips in because obviously we can't even see them. But rotating your knees out will show your quad sweep a little bit. So if you're standing with your toes straight ahead versus with your knees out a little and your toes turned out a little, now you can see shape to your quad. Now the same thing goes from the back. You want to lift your sternum like that and just spread out nice and wide. And then we would do another quarter turn. Those are the four poses that you start off with. Now we're going to pick out a couple poses here that I think people really struggle with. So what's going to happen is you go through those mandatory poses, then you actually have poses, you know, the front double bicep, the lat spread, where you actually compare against other people doing that. So let's start off with a couple of those poses. First thing we're going to do is we'll do one pose from the front. We're going to do a front double bicep. So let's see how the front double bicep looks to start. Okay, not bad. Now, can we do something with your hips? What have we learned so far? Hips back. Yeah, you see that?
Yeah.
Now you can still come up on that foot, but you still keep your hips back. You don't have to spike your knees out as hard, but pull your hip flexors in. Now you can come up on that toe. There. Even though you're showing your upper body, you can't forget your legs. The splits in here look really good. Okay, now, a couple things on your upper body. That looks really good. Me personally, I like to think about a T. So I like for your arms to be right here. Some people come way up here, and then all of a sudden their shape just looks funky as heck. All right, so we come in a T. So arms straight. Now you want to get a little rotation to get your lats out. All right. So show a little bit of V shape, rotate. Good. Remember those hips. Now, in terms of how hard you're flexing, this is key. You don't need to go. Your upper body is more relaxed. The tension is actually in your legs.
Okay.
So get your legs set. Pose from the ground up. See how much easier that is?
Yeah.
But you're keeping your legs in. And guess what happens when you compete? People are flexing their upper body so hard they forget about their legs, and then their legs look really soft.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen to you because you're going to know this is where the action is. We're going to do a side pose, so let's see how your side chest looks. That's a lot of muscle. You got crazy shoulders. Okay, now remember what I said about your feet when you were doing the quarter turn.
Yeah.
Okay, the same thing applies here. A little bit, 11 o'clock with that back foot. Drag that knee in, push your adductors together so your hamstrings pop in. Now hit your side chest. You've got to rotate around a little bit more now though. Now rotate around. Okay, good. Pick your chest up. There you go. That's probably one of his best poses. It really shows the density of his shoulders, his chest. That looks really good. Now, this is just my opinion. But when I see a side chest, I'm more of the old style. The Arnold Schwarzenegger, barrel chest, thick, like, now, here, okay, so here, look at what he's doing with his hands. Now move your hands up.
Oh, up there.
Watch his shoulders, move them up more. Okay, now watch this. Move your hand back all the way to here. All the way. Now expand, make yourself big and wide. Okay, now move your hands in. You see how that's making him narrow?
Is it good or bad?
It's bad.
Oh,
So when you see guys grabbing like right here, they're like bunching up. Like
okay,
you just look bunched up. What I'd rather you do is come out here and boom, pull it in. There.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, dude. When you pulled me down here, my lat just went back.
So that was the other thing. You can't let your arms dangle out here. You see how there's there's distance there? You want that thing sucked in right against your body, down, chest up. See that?
Oh, legs.
See the difference?
Legs.
Good.
Yeah.
So that is something that I see a lot of people, again, me personally, I'd rather see somebody look like this
Yeah.
than look like this.
Okay.
I don't like to see people all bunched up.
All right.
And if you're, if you're big, man, show that dominating size, right? And if you pull it in, good, you'll actually show better shape even. Now we're going to do a rear double bicep, okay? So let's see how it looks. Okay, hold that right there. See how his shoulders are kind of lined up right here?
Yep.
Okay, now I'm going to show you another little trick. I always got to give credit where credit's due. I learned this from Flex Lewis. So if you want to really show a lot of detail and striations in your traps and rhomboids and still look wide and actually engage your lower lats better, I want you to do something.
All right.
So when you're right here, I want you to do this.
Okay.
See what I just did? See what I just did?
Yeah. Okay.
Now, did you see me do, did I do this?
No.
No, I went like this.
Okay.
When you do that, you're going to see all kinds of detail here, and it's also going to allow you to flex a lot easier right there.
And go from the side.
Now look from the side. Now back, but stay wide. Can you give me a little rotation?
Oh,
Okay, now this should be uncomfortable if you're
very.
So he's not real flexible. He's going to have to
Ah.
Okay, relax. Now, when you see the difference from here to here, it's
Yeah.
going to blow you away. All the striations in your traps and rhomboids,
All right.
rope in your shoulders. So I want you to remember here to here with a little rotation.
Okay.
Back. Now rotate. Now give me just a little flex right here.
Yeah.
You see how that? Did you feel that?
Yeah.
The further back you are, the more you're rotated, the easier that is. You'll get, okay, you can relax. You'll get to where it's super simple to flex your back. Like if I was in a show right now, this is how hard I'll flex my back.
Really, you're just putting yourself into position.
Put yourself in position, just a light flex. Where's the hard flexing?
Legs.
Legs, lower body.
Okay.
So
That's
you're
good. That
going to
saves
hit,
energy.
yes, so you're going to hit your glutes and your hamstrings, and then set yourself up. But right here is where all the flexing is.
Okay.
Right? This is a light flex. It's
Yeah.
just barely flexing. All the tension is right here. Okay?
Right.
Now what will happen again is you're going to be competing and you're going to be standing next to guys and you're going to look over and they're going to be going, "Argh!" And what's going to happen to their legs?
They're gonna go soft.
They're going to lose them. They're
Okay.
going to be straining so hard to flex, their legs are going to go soft. And you know what you're going to be doing? You're going to be like, okay, I'm tight. I could do this all day.
Nice. That's what I want to feel on stage. I don't want to get exhausted.
But it takes practice. It takes flexibility.
Yeah.
Especially in your shoulder girdle.
Okay. I can do that. I can work on flexibility.
You know flexibility.
Yeah.
We went through the initial kind of mandatories, the symmetry round, then we went through some of the comparisons that we'll do. What do you think?
I did not know that I was supposed to just chill up here and let the legs tighten up and keep everything tight. That's going to save me a lot of energy. I didn't know that I was supposed to turn my feet this way on some of those poses. And this is when I watch.
Yep.
Yeah, just
This one here.
cup that hand just like that.
Like I feel this lat right here. It's like trying to do a row holding something versus like, where is it? You know,
Yeah.
like now I'm like, oh shit, the
Now,
lat's coming in.
Pop it up. Yeah, like that. Big, thick, and hard.
Yeah.
So, and that's just three. That's just 3 poses. We could do this all day. There's so much intricacy to posing. There's so many little things. Like if you're doing an ab pose, people like that, guess what happens if you point your elbows up? Your serratus pop out and you get more V-taper. There's so many little things we can go over. Right? Get your hands, like drop them clear back here.
Yep.
Now, see, feel that?
Yep.
Now blow your air out. Now blow your air out. Right here. So there's a lot of little things like this. Posing is hard work, but when you get real good at it, it'll look effortless. It just takes a lot of work on the front end to get to the point where you can make it look effortless. I've had people take pictures before. I said, I want you to flex as hard as you can.
Yeah.
And then I had them do it. Okay, now do it my way. And I showed them the difference in her back. There was no difference.
See, that's amazing. I like that. I didn't know that was a thing. So I just should have been told that like 5 years ago.
Posing is always a little hard, but when you really master it, like if you remember, if you go watch some video of Lee Labrada.
Oh, I've seen Lee Labrada pose.
It's effortless, right?
Yeah.
Everything he does, it's,
super smooth, like
Yes.
smooth, effortless. You can get to that.
Yeah.
It just takes practice. You gotta have somebody with the knowledge to teach how to do it. But I think you're going to do great. So we're off to a great start. If you guys want to see more, just let us know.
Right, and subscribe to John's channel. Check him out. He's putting out 3 to 4 videos a week on average. A lot of cool new exercises he's been putting out there. And you know what? We got to work on my weak points too.
Okay.
Right,
I'm sure you've seen some.
So we're going to do a full body workout today?
All right, see you in the next video with a full body workout where John helps me with all my weak points.
And he annihilates you.
Yes.
Okay.